The page more or less. Oh hey, there's other people on right now. Yeah, but then you should be brought directly to the page from that one email. And then if you go to the left side, you can sort of see you can click on the button where you can see the chat. Sorry. Alright.
Yeah, we'll stop the recording now, thanks. Yeah, that little. Oh.
I saw other people in when I clicked on it. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so we got this.
Okay, Lauren.
Can everyone hear us?
We're muted, I think. Yeah, we muted ourselves.
No, I think it's because I can control that.
Oh. Wait, no, that's you. I should be not muted. Oh, so it's my account, right?
Oh, yeah, that's your account. Michelle and Leron, can you guys hear us?
I think they're muted too, because they're on school computers.
Yeah?
Oh, wait, no.
Yay! We're running. We solved this whole thing. Oh, not too shabby. Not too shabby.
That wasn't hard at all.
Oh, God, that was annoying and stupid. I know we're live, but it was annoying and stupid. It's not like it's gonna keep this on my YouTube channel. God. Okay, should we try this again tomorrow? I'm guessing now that people can actually get on. Perhaps have like a sign-up sheet online, and then whoever signs up for it, I just send out an invite.
But does everybody know it's on?
The thing is, right now, Yen, who is helping me and who I'm talking through right now, well, obviously, because she goes to Markville, we just sort of, I was able to see what was coming up on her end, and because the way I had shared it last year was I would just send out an invite like I had done previously, but now it seems like only you guys could just view them, whereas if I invited people directly from the Hangout on Air after it was started, they can actually get in like this. Because when I was doing the Hangout on Air, there's nobody showing up on the bottom of the screen. It was just me in there, and I was like, okay, nobody's here. I think people could probably view it, but you're probably just either getting me listening to Led Zeppelin or...
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, or you could just see something without hearing anything because I wasn't talking.
I saw the slideshow.
Oh, it's nothing spectacular, but yeah, I'd like to get it up and running. Because I was thinking about different... Let me know what you girls think, because I was thinking, and yeah, you can jump in on this one as well. Because I was thinking I'd just go home, quickly make a recording of the lecture, just post it up there, and then have like an open discussion about the chapter we're reading today. Which, Yen, have you gotten on that chapter?
I finished it.
Nice. What'd you think?
It was interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Big fish, little farm versus.
See, didn't. And just having like open discussions or something like that to get people up online, just to see if it gets up and running.
Yeah, it's good. I think you should post the lectures online because some people aren't like able to be on at 2, you know? Yeah,
no, that's what I was thinking. I was just thinking tonight, take 20 minutes, just actually, I'll just talk over the lecture without doing it a Hangout on Air. And then tomorrow at different times, like I'm off period 1 at about 8:30, I'll be on. 9:45, I'll be back on for period 2. 3 and 4, I teach in class. And then be back on period 5, which what I was thinking is just helping people just get up online and making sure they get the invite so that this isn't really much of a hassle anymore. So I'm basically online all day.
Yeah.
Good idea, bad idea?
That's a good idea, but I'm just saying for the online portion, what if, like, let's say you can't be on a certain day?
Oh, okay.
Would that affect anything?
Sorry?
Let's say you can't be on a certain day or time. Would that affect anything?
Not necessarily. I mean, I can't force you guys to go out of, because I know a couple students basically have full course loads already right now. Like I know there's one student at Bayview, I think, she just said, I don't have a lunch. So there's nothing I can really do about that. So that's why I post them online afterwards. But I'm hoping people are able to get out as much as they can. And like I'm saying, I think it's a really good tool to make this online class feel less online and more in class, and being able to have more of these one-on-one discussions. Like that's why I thought for the end of the last day of the roundtable discussions to have it, like you guys or whoever's running it, host it for about an hour, just have a live discussion. I think it's really beneficial.
Yeah, like that, like it's good. Like I know what you mean, but I'm just saying sometimes it gets a little hard.
In what sense?
In sense of like making it, because like when you did it yesterday, you did it in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't because I had school, right?
No, that's understandable. That's why I said if you guys can make it, that's why I'd like for people to get on as much as
Oh
they
yeah,
can.
okay, that makes sense.
And what I'm going to have is a sign-up sheet where just people say, actually, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. People say like when period 1 is, when they're off, and things like that. So you guys have opportunity when people are hosting them to actually get up online and talk and take more out of this than just a general online discussion.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of the course so far?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just really hard to get used to.
In what sense?
I don't know. Just the whole online thing. It's like new to me.
Yeah.
So just pretty hard because like when I submit my work, do I have to submit it anywhere, or do you just see it on the Google Drive?
You just see it on Google Drive.
Because when you go on e-learning, it like has like places where you have to submit it, and I'm like, okay.
Actually, maybe now that I think about it, because like I said, I don't use e-learning for anything but discussions. Actually, I'll mention that tomorrow, and if I forget, remind me. Just saying, yeah, everything on e-learning is nothing. They just build a course for me, and I don't use it.
Okay, good, because like I haven't been going on that.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go on that right now. It's just, like I say, I run everything through Drive because it's much more intuitive and cool.
Yeah, okay. Google Drive is a little more easier because I can go on it on my phone. Like, let's say if I'm at school, I can just check up on it.
Yeah.
On my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Have I made it confusing, or is it pretty clear so far?
Like, I like the whole Google Drive thing. Like, I think just in general now it's a lot more like I can see where it's going.
Yeah.
But it's still a little difficult at times.
In what sense? What could make it easier?
Like, I don't even know. I think it's just the fact that I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
That makes it hard, and I just hope that I don't miss anything when I have like school or work or something.
You won't. That's why I try every day. I tried to lay out the website as simple as I can. Yeah, I usually update it either later at night, like 8 o'clock before I go to bed. So I go to bed at 9. I got kids tired. Okay.
At 9 before too.
I did go to sleep at 9 before, or I do it really early in the morning at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and everything's there. And like I said, I have all the major assignments there. I tried to lay it out as clear as I can. Hopefully you guys should get the hang of it in a little bit. Because I'm curious about the roundtable discussions next week. I think they should be really cool, though. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, I hope that works out.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I like the whole like thing that you did with the calendar, how you like let us click on the link.
Well, like I said, I wanted to give as many areas and opportunities for you guys to get to the information instead of keeping it at one spot. And in case you missed it, then that's really crappy.
Yeah, because on the calendar, like I find it a lot easier the fact that you put the link there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh my god.
So yeah, like I find it a lot easier the fact that you did that.
Okay, yeah, just keep letting me know because this is only my second time doing it. So if there's something that's confusing, I want to make it as clear as possible. What about interest? You interested in it so far? At least it seems interesting. You can jump in.
Well, I personally like psychology and all that stuff, so like it seems pretty interesting. Like it's still kind of the beginning.
Yeah.
So I haven't really learned much.
Yeah, other than the small things. What about the opportunity for you guys to choose your own like topics and things like that? Having it more student run.
Well, not sure how that's gonna go. I hope it goes okay, because it depends. A lot of it depends on the people in your group, right? Because you have to like make sure that they get their end of the work done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question with that. With all the textbook work and the roundtable discussion and everything else, like, do we personally have to go email them?
Yeah, you should get in touch with your group mates. Yeah, that's why on the sign-up sheet I put I just put everybody's GAP's emails. I mean, you can share your own email if you want, if you check them more often. But I put that there so everyone should get in touch with each other. Yeah.
Okay, so like, for instance, now I should just email them and talk to them about it?
Yeah, and just say, like, it depends. What's the first thing you're doing and when?
Hold on, let me check.
Like for ours, like the girl that like emailed us first, she was like, "Oh, we'll get this done by Sunday," and I filled out my part, and then Cassidy filled out her part, but the girl that made the document never did her part.
Yeah, I don't know if because us working at Mark, we're so used to GAP. Like it's been integrated since.
No, but the girl that made the doc and everything said.
Oh, she made the doc.
Like she made the doc and it's like, "Here, we're gonna do this by Sunday," and I did work, and then Cassidy did work, and the girl didn't do anything.
We didn't even start yet. Well, I don't know. Like, I didn't get any emails or anything.
Yeah, I would get, like I said, one of the cool ways you can do it is, a good way that I found for some people last year is, have you used Google Drive before this class?
Like, I used Docs like once or twice when I had to make a slideshow with like a group in my school.
Okay.
So we can share our information. That's the only time I used it though.
Yeah, so you basically know if you type something, someone else can see it though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the easiest way, what people found last year, and I think I mentioned in my last video I made, was basically just have like Skype or Google Hangouts open and just be working on the document and talking all at once. It's like you guys are pretty much in the same room, but you're really in the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
So
Actually, should I go back with you?
that's pretty much the easiest way to work. Okay, take care, yeah.
The first thing that I have is the roundtable discussion.
Keep it on. Keep it on. And grab my stuff back there. Grab my bag. That's your next big thing. Pardon? Yeah, I'll log out for you, Vaughn. No problem. Sorry, Leron. Keep going.
The first thing that I have is the roundtable discussion.
Which one? Are you the second or third?
The third.
The third. Okay, so you have a little bit of time. Yeah, I would get started on that as soon as possible.
So, like, how does it work? Like, I just do my own research with it?
No, well, hopefully, like I said, you guys are all... What's your topic again? I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Social deviance?
Oh, social deviance. Okay, yeah, you're basically looking at, like, you know what social deviance is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically like crime and non-controlling social behavior, basically, yeah. So you guys are basically, as a group, what you guys are going to be doing is collecting all the information or whatever, planning like the discussion. You guys have to find, like I said, I mentioned, find an article we could read. And like the one, do you read the article I shared today?
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, read it. Like that's one that's comparable. It's detailed, it's academic, it's filled, it's, you ever read Malcolm Gladwell?
No, I haven't.
It's actually really interesting, oh, this library's getting loud. It's actually a really interesting article about, oh, thanks, kids. Sorry, they're just bringing me something back in a sec. Thank you, kids. You rock. All right, thanks for your help today, Ian. Appreciate it. So basically the idea of the article, it's really cool, is it basically questions whether choosing the best university possible is actually good for you, because they have this thing called the little fish, big pond effect. You'll find it really interesting. It may actually have you question whether you want to go to the best school possible. And that's what I'm sort of modeling this week, is I found an article for you guys, or you guys can, like I said, you can find videos, YouTube clips, whatever, as long as it's academic in nature. And then, sorry, there goes the end of the day bell. Oh, and Rochelle, jump in on this conversation as well, now that you can hear everything.
Okay, sorry.
There you go. No worries. Like, I mean, it's a cool opportunity that you guys can actually ask me questions. And
I have a question about the investigation project, like the social science one.
Yep.
On the doc, it says that there's like a Google document created for us, and you select a topic. I can't find that document.
Oh shoot. Oh crap! You actually hit me. Oh, have I shared? No, I haven't shared that one yet. Okay, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, sorry, I haven't shared that one with you. I'll share it with you in a little bit. Don't worry.
Okay.
No worries too much, because you guys are so early into it right now. And actually, I feel bad about
you haven't shared that with anybody yet?
No, I haven't shared that with anybody yet.
Okay.
But back to your question, Leon. Basically, yeah, you find those academic articles or whatever, those videos, whatever it happens to be, and then from there, what you do is, like I said, I'll lead you guys through like a short 2-day discussion tomorrow, where you're actually going to be on the e-learning, the D2L site, Desire to Learn, and then from there, the last day will sort of be an online discussion with a number of people can sign up and go from there. So that's sort of the gist of it. It's just being able to talk a lot about these things over.
So do I just generally kind of search it up and kind of like make notes about it?
In what sense?
For the roundtable discussion.
For you guys, so if you're leading the roundtable discussion, really your role is you have to find the articles and you sort of become experts in them, sort of the issues it revolves around. Like social deviance, I mean, you can't talk about social deviance as a whole because there's really so much there. But maybe you find an interesting article about, you know, Markham deviance or whatever. It's a really, really academic article, and you really focus on that. But by being experts in your topic, you really lead others in a larger discussion. You're able to facilitate. You'll see, it's basically what I'm going to be doing for you guys tomorrow. Everyone will sort of be online talking. I'll be like sharing some comments back and forth, challenging your thinking, playing devil's advocate, finding some other articles that you guys may want to read to start thinking of new ideas. And basically what you're doing is you're just leading a discussion, but it's over 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's all done online. So, obviously sometimes you're in class, but for the most part, between the hours of school, so between about 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., basically if you're not in class, your life revolves around that discussion. So you work with your partner to say, okay, I'm in class right now. Rochelle, you're taking over the discussion from 1 o'clock to 2:30 in class.
Mhm.
Then John, when you get back, you take over the discussion here. We'll both be online. And basically the goal is to really lead a 3-day online discussion. And what you'll find with it is people don't post as often as like in a in-class discussion, because obviously it's not immediate and interactive. But what you do find is like the depth of the discussion is unbelievable. Like, because people have time to formulate thoughts and ideas, and I was so impressed with the depth that the discussions went in last year, and that's really what you go for in these online ones, and why the online course I think is really awesome. And you leave like a trail and a record of everything that's...
Yeah, but will you be asking us questions?
Tomorrow I will be, yeah. So basically, actually, I haven't posted the link yet. I'll actually do that in a few minutes. Actually, let me do that right now as I'm working away.
I'm just wondering, like, as in, like, let's say I have my roundtable discussion, which is like March, I think, March 23rd.
So you mean you're leading your roundtable discussion?
Well, I'm not sure yet.
Oh no, but I mean it's like for your group though, right?
Yeah, like for my group.
Yeah. So when you're leading your roundtable discussion, that's your only job. You're participating in the sense of further the discussion.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Like when you're actually leading the roundtable discussion, or you and your group are leading the roundtable discussion, that's your whole goal. Is you're just like the discussion leader. You're trying to facilitate discussion.
Oh, and everybody else talks about it.
Yeah, and everybody else is talking about it. So yeah, you're facilitating the discussion with the 25.
Oh, so we are the one that's asking the questions.
Yeah, you're the one that's asking the questions and facilitating the discussion and pushing the conversation more and giving thoughtful responses. You're not really making any initial posts and things like that, which you'll see tomorrow as I'm putting up sort of one of the last rubrics, the actual your participation grade and what that entails. And that's more from participating in discussions, but leading the roundtable discussion is a little different, but same stuff really applies.
Okay, makes sense now.
Yeah, the only thing you really don't have to do is make an initial post.
Okay, but like they learn about it first, right?
Yeah, so the roundtable discussions are set up, like I said, over 5 days. Day one is like today. Basically, somebody gives you an article or some videos to watch or something along those lines, and it's just a day for the people who are going to participate in the discussion to really understand what they're going to be talking about, where the questions are coming from, jotting down some ideas that they want to bring up, connections and things like that. And then the next day is days 2, 3, and 4 are just for online discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And day 5 is hopefully we'll get this whole Hangout on Air thing up and running, and we'll get people involved into the Hangouts, and from there be able to discuss these things online.
Okay,
it's almost like a nice summation of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait, just 1 second. Okay, but like when let's say we find the articles and videos and stuff like that, right? How would we be able to like link it to others?
Okay. Sorry, speak again. I want to see if my microphone's working.
If we...
yeah, it's working there. Good. Okay. How would we do that? What I'm going to do is, closer to the roundtable discussion, I'm going to have to get in touch with the group that's actually going to be going next week. And on the side of our online, I'll post it on the online calendar as well. But even on the sides, on the sidebar, what I'll have is basically where it says, major group discussions, major assignments, online calendar. I'm going to have one that says roundtable discussions and basically give you guys editing, like whomever's there, just editing rights, and you can just post all the stuff up there. So it'll all be run centrally again through the website or through the online calendar.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Rochelle, you have any questions?
For the textbook, like, do we just make a link for it when we're done and then we share it to everyone?
Yeah, you're going to share it. So basically, like I said, is the whole textbook revolves around answering those essential questions that when you guys chose your topics, there was sort of a list of essential questions that can go with it.
Yeah.
And basically, you guys are, I chose essential questions because they are very broad and open-ended. There's no one right way to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was said, basically it's an opportunity for you guys to bring in a number of different points of view, different opinions on the issues, lots of, you know, you're not really limited in what you can search for.
Okay.
Like for example, what's the one? I can't remember the one. Liron, her group's doing social deviance. So that's such a broad topic. Like, what's your topic, Rochelle?
I think it's addiction.
Oh my God, that's massive. Like, you know how many addictions there are out there?
I wish I did that topic.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, there's not one thing. I mean, if you guys are all really interested in drug addiction, I mean, you guys can focus entirely on drug addiction, looking at it through the lens of psychology, sociology, and anthropology. That's fine. You can do, what's another addiction? One that fascinates me is why boys are obsessed with video games. So stupid. Hate video games. But that's the idea. I mean, you can look at video game addiction. You can look at smoking as an addiction. You can look at, I don't know, there's so many different types of addictions. You know.
So, like, should we focus on one of them, or like?
It depends. Like I said, I think the weird thing about this class is, or at least for students, is I'm not, unlike many classes, I'm not holding your hands.
Yeah.
You can focus on a number. Focus on what you're interested in is really the big thing.
Okay.
Get a focus. Like if you guys are really interested in drug addiction, there's your focus right there, and just stick with that.
Okay.
Yeah, like this class is really, I've never had a class that's so student run. Like, you guys are literally teaching each other. Outside of this first unit where I'm going over a few things, but outside of that, the rest of the course is you guys teaching each other.
Yeah.
But what happens if we don't teach it well? Wouldn't that affect our mark?
Yeah. I'm trusting you. Basically, like I think I said at the beginning of the course, it's not, like I think this course is really weird. This course is weird, and my teaching style is not weird in the sense, but I expect a lot from my students. I have high standards, but at the same time, it's not a zero-sum game. And a zero-sum game means that if there's a winner, there has to be a loser. And I don't think that way. I mean, my whole hope for you guys thinking this class is that everybody should get a 90. You guys should all be helping each other out to do the best that you can and teaching to each other well. And it's like the idea that, okay, and it's really weird because you're putting trust in other students. It says, okay, I trust that you're going to do well and teach me your stuff well because I'm going to do well for you. So it's really you guys are just trusting each other to know the material and build from there.
I have one more question. I know this is a little too early to ask.
Don't worry.
When it comes to the midterms and the exam, what are the topics that we're focusing on? Is it those little terms that we like defined, or was it like
those ones will be there, but also it's going to be based on the roundtable discussions, textbooks, and no, I'm not going to bring the seminars in. But it's basically where we are in the course right now. So by the time we get to, actually, let me bring up the course calendar here. Weird, I'm on Yen's thing right now, so I can't actually go and edit anything.
Mr. Ramatar, please dial extension 181. Mr. Ramatar, 181.
Okay, so we got our midterms posted for, what did I plop that one in there? So basically, yeah, if you go on the online calendar, you'll see it's April 17th. So from there, yeah, there's going to be sort of some introductory to psychology things, the sociology. When I do post the introduction to anthropology, there'll be a few things here and there. But then, yeah, there's
the introduction part is the terms, right?
Yeah, just some terms. I just wanted to introduce you guys in brief because I know, did you guys happen to take the grade 11 version of this course?
No.
I didn't.
Didn't?
I didn't either.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just sort of just to get you into some of the terms of psychologists, what they do, you know, some of the major theories that are there, and we'll keep applying it to, because again, the whole idea of this course is like, what's the deal with people? That's really what psychology, anthropology, and sociology looks at. So by then, yeah, you'll have, you'll be able to, yeah, we'll have sort of those introductory lectures. We'll be looking at addiction. There'll be the textbook there. The roundtable discussion number 2 is civil rights. So basically, they focus on race, gender, and/or sexual orientation. After that, our next one is social deviance. Moving into, there's gender roles after that. Sorry, someone else is talking. And then, well, I probably won't do the roundtable discussion number 5 just because of the fact that, but the first 4 roundtable discussions, textbooks, and all that is fair game. So it'll be based on that. And, and usually what I do is, and I'm going to continue to do this, is I choose like very random articles. I can remember last year, because it was at the end of the course, I chose an article about like how the Toronto Maple Leafs basically suck, and basically said apply sociology, psychology, and anthropology. How would they look at that? You know, I may choose just a random article on gender roles. I'll say, you know, apply what you've learned from the online discussions in the textbook. And basically what I try to do is get you guys seeing how I don't ask too many like basic questions like who is Sigmund Freud. I don't care about that. But the idea of applying what you know to new and novel situations is really the whole thing. So I'll choose stuff that we know already, social deviance, addiction, gender roles, etc., and just apply it to new situations. Maybe I'll find, for example, maybe in the gender roles, maybe in the gender roles one, or not gender roles, what am I talking about? Civil rights one, they focus a lot on race. I'll apply that to sexual orientation, for example, and because the same real principles apply. You guys just basically have to take what you know and apply it to new situations.
So
That's
basically, like the stuff that we will do, like let's say on the midterm or the exam, it'd be more opinionated, right?
It'll be opinionated, but yeah, you'll need to like obviously back it up with
our opinion.
Yeah, it's based on your opinion, and like I said, what's really cool about this course is for the 99.9% of opinions, I think are valid. So I mean, you'll have your own opinion. You just got to prove that you're correct, and there's nothing wrong. Like I'm not one of those teachers who will say, I disagree with you 100%. Therefore, you're wrong. I don't care. As long as you don't go in and say, you know, Hitler was great and there should be another genocide. It'd be like, you know, get the hell out of there if you're going to be such an ignorant fascist, basically. But for the most part, like everything is fair game. Like I remember last year, one of the interesting discussions that I had, technically the most controversial topic we got into because someone wanted to discuss it was abortion, where basically you had, you know, pro-life people on one side, obviously the anti-abortion versus people who were pro-choice. And I mean, both sides were fairly given. People had their own opinions, but at the same time, nobody was going around, you know, calling people a Christian fundamentalist or, you know, a hardcore feminist and things like that. We're saying, you know, these are the issues. Let's talk about it. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just show that your opinion's like validated, and show that it's not opinion, that it's based in some fact.
So like, as long as we back it up and it makes sense, then.
Yeah, as long as you back it up. And I mean, you guys know, you guys are in grade 12, or I think there's one or two students in grade 11 right now. But you guys know it's a good website. I remember I was getting into a discussion last semester with another student, and we were talking a lot about multitasking. And I was just sort of playing devil's advocate, and I was finding, you know, scientific journals, and I was sort of copying and pasting the abstracts of them, saying students can't, like, nobody can multitask. Our brain doesn't actually multitask. We task switch. Whereas the other person was coming with these articles, like, basically people's opinion, like, you know, multitaskingisgreat.org. Like, come on, a little bias there. So you guys know it's good opinions, and I think, you know, I've had in-class discussions where people have talked about legalizing marijuana. And I said, that's great, but if I'm coming at you with study, because I've had so many stupid conversations with people about this, and I can easily pull up tons of like scientific articles, and people are coming at me with saying, oh, but on this website it says there's no harm. I go to the website, it's like weedforlife.com. I'm like, what, seriously? Like, there's no legitimate evidence.
Kind of like,
yeah, as long as you find good quality sources, that's fine. As long as they're substantiated and you're not going to people who are, you know, incredibly biased, or other stupid conversations I've had with people are, the two biggest ones I've also had along with the legalization of marijuana with students is video games aren't bad for students. And they're all like, oh, but look, in this study it says that, you know, video games increase hand-eye coordination. And I'm like, okay, great, here's all the negative facts of it. Or the other one is, I'm sure you've had these conversations, for some reason everyone believes the Illuminati exists. I have no idea why. And I've, you know, again, they're coming out with these sort of weak sources that are very biased and aren't looking at the other side. So as long as you come with, you guys know what makes good sources.
Yeah.
I get so worked up in a debate. If someone wants to argue with me, I have to be right.
But that's great. You want that. Now, just make sure that you're not just giving your opinion. Make sure you're finding, you know, all these articles that will support it. Maybe people won't agree with your opinion, but then, like I always tell my students, that's really out of your control. You know, if you've given all of the evidence for it and they still don't believe you, you've done your case. But I mean, if you went and you said, I think this is right, and they're like, well, what do you have proof? No, it's right, trust me. I'm like, okay, then that's your fault that they don't believe you, because you're being, you know, you're not being intelligent in the conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's great. Keep bringing that, you know, that tenacity of wanting to be correct. That's great. You want that, and hopefully that'll fire you up to prove to people that they're.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Prove to people that they're wrong. But I mean, they may agree with you, but they may not. Just be civil with it, and everything's good. So, yeah, that's the gist with that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where these online discussions go. Rochelle, did you read the article this week, the one I just posted today?
I'm halfway through it.
What do you think?
It's really interesting.
What about it's interesting?
It's like, it's just the fact that it's just like, oh, like, if I were to go here, then I could be doing something else, but then if I went somewhere else, then, like, I don't know, I just find it really interesting how, like, we twist so many things.
It's actually a really fascinating book to read. It's from David and Goliath. But yeah, like, I was curious to see how many, because I'm assuming both of your parents want you to get into the best university possible.
Yeah.
And they're, like, really pressuring you to do that.
Yeah, because then it's like there's always that debate. It's just like, oh, like if you go to college, like you're dumber than like people who go to university or whatever.
Yeah, there's that debate too, and I think a lot of people too is, especially at Markville, being from a high Chinese population, like everyone's like you either go to U of T or McGill or bust.
Yeah.
It's like those are the only two universities that exist unless you go to an Ivy League school. And what I really like about the argument is that I don't know if you've gotten to the point of it yet, is like how much your chances decrease graduating with a degree if you go to a top university because it makes you feel dumb. Even though you are in the top, you know, a top percentile.
Like, even if you do get a degree, it's just like if you don't find a job, then there's no point in having your degree.
Well, that's true, and but they even beyond that, I mean, that's a whole other debate itself. But I like beyond that is the fact that, like, because some people go, like, you may not even get out with a degree.
Yeah.
Like based on what the Caroline Sachs mentioned because she went to Brown, and it's like I always have these. Like, it was really funny. Someone brought it up to me. I got this stat. I don't like hockey anymore because I find it a very boring sport. But they basically said, you know, only 0.054% of people who played hockey at one point in their life play one game in the NHL. 0.054%. That's like one. What would that be in the math? One in every
I don't even know.
6,000 people or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was having this conversation because I think the Leafs do suck, and I hate living in Toronto because they have a bad hockey team. But it was interesting. I said, you know what? These players don't suck. They're in the top, like, 0.001% of hockey players.
Yeah.
In that pool, they technically suck. But, I mean, they're still the best hockey players. And it really brought it home in this article, I think, is the same. You know, relative to all other professional players, the Leafs suck. But you play the Leafs, you put the Leafs against any other team that's outside the NHL, and they'd win.
Yeah.
You know, it was really interesting. So, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was a cool article that could spark some debate and things like that.
Yeah.
Really change some people's opinion.
Even if someone's better, like, even if you're good, like, someone's always better than you, so it's just...
Unless you're the best.
Yeah.
It's always nice, yes. Unless you win that gold medal at the Olympics, then no one can take that away from you. But, yeah, I'm glad
realistically, someone could steal it from you, but...
They can technically steal, but they can't. Yeah, they can steal the medal, but they can't steal the... Although the medal's really what matters, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they can't steal the title of I won, like, first place or whatever.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. That's really true. So, do you have any other questions about the course?
No. Not really.
Okay, cool. I think I actually might... Sorry?
Basically, just to keep in mind, we kind of have to memorize those terms and scientists.
Well, yeah, but what you'll start seeing, it's not so much a memorization of... and I even posted, if you see on the online calendar, or sorry, not the online calendar, on the what should I do today, I say, you know, below are some questions to help understand the reading. And those are 4 of the questions I'm going to post on the online discussion tomorrow. So again, and one of the questions I say, the second one is, how can we examine this article through the lens of psychology, sociology, and anthropology? Look to apply concepts, theories, and terms we learned over the last few days to this article. So, like, what you'll start seeing is that these terms, it's not so much memorizing these terms, it's really to say, okay, let's go back over this term sheet. Can I apply anything that I've learned already to this article? And for example, I'm trying to think of a theorist right now. I may go Sigmund Freud, why not? He's sort of the basis of psychology for some annoying reason. And basically what you could say is something along the lines of, because in the article it does talk a lot about your motivation, your sense of self. Mm-hmm. And what you could do is bring up maybe, you know, because he talks a lot about your id, your ego, and your superego, basically your conscious and unconscious mind. So maybe you can perhaps make some connection to what Freud is thinking and how being perhaps a little fish in a big pond or a big fish in a little pond, how that might affect your, you know, your conscious or unconscious decisions. So it's not so much just about blindly memorizing, but looking as well to start seeing, how can I apply some of these terms to what we've learned? Not every term will work, but I'm sure every discussion we have, you can apply a couple of those terms. I know Alfred Bandura is very big on learning theory and how we learn. and how we imitate others. For example, if I'm not mistaken, he did a Bobo the Clown thing where he basically said if kids watch violence, they become violent. I think he's the guy, or I could be wrong. But with that idea, you can maybe apply something along the lines of learning theory to how people learn in, being in a big pond, such as Harvard. Do people learn differently in Harvard because they feel stupid? I don't know. There's ways you can apply all the stuff we've done so far. So, yeah, don't worry so much about blindly memorizing, but as to looking to, you could probably memorize to an extent because then you know what to pick from. But at the end of the day, look to apply what you've memorized instead of just blindly regurgitating some facts.
Before the midterms and the exams, you would give us an outline, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
So basically, what I did last year is I said, what did I do last year? I did because there's so much you can apply to. Because really, what we're studying is people in psychology and people in society. I mean, you can't get a broader topic in my opinion. But yeah, I choose some random articles and just say, how can you guys apply it to life? How can you apply what we've learned to these articles? And what I'll probably do is, one thing I didn't do last year is that I'd like to do is I'll probably just make a giant Google document where people can share their ideas and just say, so you guys almost have like one giant study piece, or a study place where you guys can get together and talk and discuss all these articles. And hopefully by that time, I think one of the things people worry about is, if I share my ideas, I help other people get better. But imagine how good it would be is if everybody, all 29, 30 of us said, we're all going to share our answers, how much better everything would be instead of having that fear of, if I share my thing, then someone else can be better than me. Everyone should get 95 in this class.
I would think that if I share my thing, we'd both get better.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing, though. School, I think, one of the things I was really, even though I couldn't adjust the scores, what actually you guys chose for the topics I actually chose, the one I really wanted to talk about was education, because I find it fascinating. But I was like, well, they didn't vote it up, but because I'd love to understand why students, and especially teachers, because I think teachers facilitate this, is why do they make it so competitive, where students aren't helping each other, but they're actually very cutthroat. And they're actually they want to sometimes bring other people down to boost themselves up. I'm like, that's garbage. That shouldn't be the way the world works. But I mean, it is to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, it really should be about, like I said, everybody should get 95 or 100 in this course. We should all be helping each other out.
To get something like that, I'm working hard.
That's the thing, though. Work with others. And I think the weird thing about this course is that a lot of students try to get at it alone. But if you get in touch with your group mates and build some rapport with them, get to know them, and help each other out that way, I think, yeah, everybody can benefit from it. Because, like I said, if you look at the requirements for what to do, there's a lot to be done. Like, the textbook is pretty large.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I mean, and I think I can't even remember the exact word count, but that'd be like an individual writing a 20-page paper or something like that. But, 3 people can write a 6-page paper. Or 3 people can write 3 6-page papers. That helps out a lot more than one person writing a 20-pager.
Yeah.
The thing is, when it comes to work like that, like assignments and all that stuff, I'm better off working individually because I don't really count on anybody else.
But that's fine, I think. Like I said, I think the course really does help facilitate that as well, because you can work on your part alone and then all bring it together at the very end. Yeah,
but the thing is, if they don't work on their part, then my mark's affected.
But remember, like I said, I put in the I think I put it in both pieces with the seminar, the roundtable discussion, and the textbook. I said, if people aren't pulling their weight, you guys have to let me know, and then I can more or less deal with it. Because I know I had people last year who you could tell were sort of, because there's probably going to be some leeches maybe in this class. I don't know everybody yet, but I hope there aren't. But they will say, oh, good, other people just do the work for me. If, for example, you're in a textbook and you have 3 essential questions to do, say all 3 of us are in a group, you 2 do your work, and I don't do mine. It's not your job to then pull up the last person. You have 3 essential questions, 2 are done. It's pretty obvious who didn't pull their weight.
Yeah.
In a sense like that. If people aren't pulling their weight, I need to, you guys just need to let me know about it. And, I'll talk to the people, and I'm very blunt, and I'll just say, people, your group mates are worried that you're not doing the work. Let me know what things are going on from your side, and if not, get started. If there is a conflict, let me know. I'll listen to both sides, but I've never had students throw somebody under the bus for no reason, where you guys say, oh, Mr. Wiskin's not pulling his weight. I just don't like him, so I'm going to throw him under the bus. There's a reason why people come up and tell me that someone's not pulling their weight, and it's usually because someone's not pulling their weight. And by the end of it, he was really trying to get into, some top-tier universities, and ended up with somewhere in the mid-60s. Tried to leech off of other people and got caught, which is unfortunate, but,
Yeah.
that's the way it was. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the case with that. So don't worry. Like I said, if people aren't pulling their weight, but at the same time, if you guys all collectively get started 3 days before the textbook's due, that's on all of you.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about that. You guys started too late. The reason why I gave the course all at the very beginning is because, and why I said only for a couple of people actually had to. I said you can only do one roundtable discussion or one lecture, or sorry, one roundtable discussion, one seminar, and one textbook at a time. Is because it is a lot of work. It's something you got to plug away at 30, 40 minutes a day, and just keep plugging away slowly but surely. It's not something you can save till the very last minute.
Yeah.
So that's the case, and that's why I think for a lot of students it felt overwhelming at the beginning of the course, was because I did give literally every assignment at the beginning of the course. There's a lot thrown at you, but if you're going to wait till the last minute, that's your own fault.
Yeah. When are we gonna start seeing some marks, like for the terms and stuff like that?
Terms, that one's not really marked itself. What you will see by the midterm is, and I'll talk a little bit about this in the coming weeks, once you guys are done your roundtable discussion, your textbook, within a couple days I'll have some marks up for you. One thing I also do that I haven't actually mentioned to anybody yet is for the next group that happens to be going. So, for example, roundtable discussion group number 1 goes. Before that, I'll basically ask roundtable discussion group number 2 to say, provide me with a little bit of feedback as well, so that for you guys, if you're doing it, you get feedback from both myself and from your peers to say what they thought about it from the ground level. And obviously, basically, my opinion is the one that really does matter because they can't mark anything by law. But you're going to get a lot of feedback, and that'll sort of help the next group sort of going to say, okay, well, before we go, these are some things that we can, change up and correct and do certain things like that. And then you'll get your feedback. You'll sort of get to, I'll put a rubric up for, or if you go on the online calendar, I think it's on the online calendar now. Let me check. Yeah, you get to the online calendar, and you see at the top, go online calendar, let's do this. Yeah, if you see at the very top, I put participation. Now is a link you can click. At the very top, it says, major assignments, build your own textbook, seminar, roundtable discussion, participation. I put that up today, which basically goes over your participation. So before your midterm, you'll be able to get feedback on the participation. That'll be a mark in. And by that time, everyone will have at least done one thing. Everyone will at least have done a roundtable discussion, a seminar, or a textbook. Plus, there'll be the midterm mark. And again, for the participation, I've made it fairly detailed, and not what you have to do, but trying to explain things. Now, you guys will be able to basically follow yourself. I lay out some very specific groundwork. Like if you look at the knowledge portion of it, it says, you're supposed to post frequently and you're supposed to post punctually, meaning like, post, about every discussion, you should be aiming for 4 to 5 discussion pieces, as well as, posting almost every day, if not every day. So I explained it's great if you post 20 times per discussion, but if they're all on day 4 and nobody has a chance to respond to them, they're useless. You might as well get a 0 because there's no point in posting anything then. And that's the idea, just you're having thoughtful responses to everything. What else did I say with participation? Just proper spelling, grammar. I really don't care if you use contractions or I like it because it makes it more personable. Are you looking to hyperlink things to show additional resources for further learning? Are you supporting your ideas with some evidence or not? So many things like that. So at least those 3 things will be in there. Plus,
Sorry, throughout the process, let's say like I was doing my roundtable discussion.
Yeah.
If I was like, it was like the week of, right?
Yeah. So you're actually leading the roundtable discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's say like the first couple of days, like I actually emailed you, like I posted my things, and then I emailed you asking how I'm doing so far. Would you be able to give me feedback?
Of course. Yeah, I'll give you feedback on everything and anything as long as people ask.
Because in that way, like if it's during the week, like maybe I can improve and maybe like it'll help my mark.
Yep, no problem. Actually, I'm gonna when you email me for your attendance tomorrow. Just remind me of that idea in case I forget. Because when I go home, things get kind of hectic.
I'll try not to forget that.
No, yeah, don't. Because like I said, live feedback I think is actually that could be. I'm curious to see how, because I know in other classes when we've done, in other history classes at Markville, we do debates. And actually, you know what? Actually, I know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to have one group be responsible for just giving you guys sort of live feedback whenever they jump on. Just drop a comment or 2 in there to say how you guys can improve and what's going well. just so you do get that live feedback, and to say, you know, after maybe day one's discussion didn't go that great, but, you know, for these reasons, I think that'd be really beneficial, so you guys get live feedback and improving all the time. It's a great idea. Brilliant. I love these
I was just
conversations.
thinking, because like this whole concept, like the online stuff, like it's really complicating, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking that if like during my process, like if I'm doing something wrong, maybe someone could tell me so I can improve that and it wouldn't affect my mark as much.
That's really, really cool, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do, we're definitely going to do something with live feedback there. I think that's really cool.
Okay, so I'll email you saying live feedback tomorrow.
Yeah, just remember live feedback, and I'll do something like that. So I think what could be beneficial is it doesn't so much affect the very first group that goes, unfortunately, in terms of them giving feedback, but I think it'd be very beneficial. So say, for example, you know, you're going, Rochelle, you said you were doing, what was your topic again?
Addiction?
Yeah, so addiction's number 3. Yeah, you're the, or wait, addiction, oh, you guys are going first. So it doesn't help you as much as it could. Let's say, oh, and then, so Leron, you're doing, am I saying your name right, by the way?
Yeah, you are actually.
Leron, okay,
Kind of
cool,
funny.
good.
Everybody gets it wrong.
How do they say it, Lyron?
Yeah.
No, it's
It's Leron, right?
Leron, yeah, it's Leron. Yeah.
Full name.
Jewish name, correct? Am I correct in saying Jewish name?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so from your last name as well.
Yeah, so Israeli.
Was it, how do you pronounce it? Yitzhak?
It's okay. Well, do you want to know what the accent?
Yep, throw in the accent.
Yitzhak.
Yitzhak. Okay, I can't even get that. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, because yeah, it's Lee. I don't know, because my wife's from the Middle East as well, so there's just
okay.
the Li word is Lee.
Yeah, exactly, right?
All those white people would lie. What is this? Come on, guys.
Yeah, how do you get Lyron?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But the weird thing is, it depends, because I have a lot of students being in Markville, a lot of Chinese students, so a lot of people have the last name Lai, which is L-I. Versus, and then Lee is L-E-E. So, but either way, I can keep it straight. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Say, for example, for Rochelle, or sorry, Leron, you're doing the social deviance one, right?
Yeah.
So it would be really cool. So for roundtable discussion number 2, so for the one for civil rights, I'll put you guys, as your social deviance group, is responsible for sort of giving live feedback, and at the very end, sort of just giving them some feedback at the very end, how everything went. And then so even before your piece goes, then you guys, you know, have sort of learned from the other pieces about what's gone well and, you know, how you can improve for yours, which I think would be very beneficial as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's a brilliant idea. That's why I like having conversations with students. You guys are way smarter than I am. You always have the best ideas.
Thanks, you're welcome. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's true, though. I mean, like, funny thing is, I don't know why more teachers, the one thing I really enjoy doing is I just talk with students all the time saying, well, what's working, what's not working? And they give me some feedback.
I find it a lot harder, like it's easier in person than it is online.
It is, yeah. I think these sort of conversations are easier in person. I'm glad, actually, I got the Google Hangouts thing figured out right now. Like I said, I think I'm going to post this actual Hangout online, just so people can hear some ideas about the course and some of the questions that have been brought up. I think it would be really beneficial.
Okay.
For people to see. Yeah, anything else you want to bring up, though? Because I got to get running in a few minutes.
No.
No. That sort of more or less answers anything?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So I'll try to do for tomorrow, maybe have a whole online. No, I'll do that maybe for Friday, maybe. Just have like an entire day for online discussion. Like maybe tomorrow we have something online, but we can meet up live or something and we can discuss the article and whatnot and build from there. Just so I can get as many people on this as possible so they're not, when it comes to their turn for Hangout on air, they're not confused.
Maybe you know what you should do? Maybe tomorrow just ask everybody what time they're usually free and see what the majority of the class
Yeah,
is.
that's what I'm going to do. And then, yeah, probably perhaps for Friday, as I say, I'm gonna fire you guys out. Everybody who's free at this time, I'm going to fire you out an invite, and hopefully you can jump online and we can just get chatting about the article.
Yeah, and like, will you be able to post it after?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'll probably do, yeah, the problem is it'd be a lot to, because basically I'm on for like 3 one-hour sections, which could be quite long, but I don't know if people want to listen to it. Like, we've already been chatting for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd have to make like a table of content. You know how to make a table of contents in YouTube? You know how, like, they say you click on a certain number and it takes you to that spot in YouTube? What's that called?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Wait, it does that?
Yeah, sometimes if you look at, like, say, for example, let me see, I'll fire you guys off a link right now. Let me go on YouTube, see if I can find something.
I I feel like the length of it doesn't really matter. Whoever's like committed to like staying that long can stay
Yeah.
that long.
I think one thing. Hopefully, this has no, show more. That doesn't have anything. Nope. That doesn't work well. Whoops. Oh, there we go. This one has it. Let me send you this link. Whoops. Sorry, did you guys hear that? Oh, no, I'm on my headphones. Okay. I sent you a link. If you click on that YouTube link, it's just to PS the greatest album of all time. And then if you see under the comments, if you click under Show More, you'll see that you can click different times, and it'll take you to different songs.
Oh, I see it.
Wait, 1 second.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that either. Maybe I'll investigate. I don't know what that's called either. But either way, yeah, I'll see if I can't figure that out. 'Cause it'd be really...
Oh, I think maybe you have to add it. Like,
What do you mean?
The
Oh,
at
wait,
symbol?
there's an app for it?
No, like the at symbol, number 2, like 2.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I think that's how you do it.
Okay, what would that be called, though? Is it like a track list, or is it like a table of contents in YouTube?
I don't even know. I think it's just a certain time that you put.
Yeah, I don't. I'll have to investigate something because, like I said, we asked a lot of questions, and I think it would be really beneficial to.
It wouldn't be called a track list, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it'd just be really beneficial so students can go find sort of the answer they're looking for.
Yeah, and kind of like just write it down, like saying like, oh, talking about this topic at this certain time.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be better. I'll see if I can't do that in the next couple days because we did cover a lot about the course, which I think could be beneficial. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anyways, anything else you guys want to know?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, good. I'm glad I could be of some help, and this afternoon wasn't another total bust. Okay, that's awesome. Thanks a lot. I got to get running, but take care. Have a good one.
Bye, thank you.
All right, later.
Thank you.
Let me log off here.